Hi, I'm Frances Beaurivage from the EIPA Diagnostic Center, and we're going to bring to you today 5 of the top most frequently asked questions that I get about the EIPA assessment test.
It's been a number of years since I last took the EIPA, and my scores have not improved much. I interpret in the classroom every day, so I don't understand why my scores did not increase.
Okay, well that's an interesting question. I always respond to that by saying that when we are in the classroom on a daily basis, we walk in every day and we sit down, get ready to interpret, and we wait for the teacher to begin talking. And typically what we do is we pick our hands up and we begin interpreting, but we may be thinking about, okay, today I'm going to try to focus on this. But pretty soon as you interpret, you kind of go into what I would call autopilot. You do what comes easily and naturally. So what I recommend is to think about it this way. If you're a musician, and I'll use piano for example, if you are practicing a new piece on the piano and you have a trouble spot, my teacher always told me to highlight that trouble spot in your music and to go over that section repeatedly. And she always said that at first it was good to slow down, start very slowly, and then as you got more fluent and the fingering became natural, then you could speed the piece up until you were working at the pace that you would like to be working at for that piece of music in the appropriate time, such as 2/4 time or 4/4 time. So when you're interpreting, and suppose you want to focus on improving the production of your finger spelling, well, you can't do that by just walking into the classroom and saying, today I'm going to produce my finger spelling more effectively. What you really need to do is outside of the classroom, you need to be having very focused, deliberate practice on a specific skill set. So if you're working on your production of finger spelling, and maybe your report said that your finger spelling was inarticulate and too quick, so what you would do in isolation is that you would interpret a sentence that required a fingerspelled word to be embedded in it, and then you would practice delivering that sentence with the fingerspelling repeated times, starting out by delivering the fingerspelling the first time slowly, then doing it repeatedly and picking up the speed each time until you reach the speed that's appropriate for the age of the students that you're working with. So this kind of outside of the classroom practice is what will carry over into the classroom. So no differently when you're practicing a specific piece on the piano and you're just isolating that piece and playing it over and over, the same way you're practicing your finger spelling outside of the classroom, that skill set should become more innate and feel more natural so that when it's time for you to fingerspell in the classroom, you will be able to transfer that skill into your interpreting and do it more effectively. And this would apply to almost any skill set that is recommended that you work on your EIPA report. You want to take that skill set, you want to isolate it, and you want to develop a series of practice activities that will help remediate that specific area, and then hopefully that'll carry over into the classroom, and the next time you take the EIPA, you will be able to hopefully see improvement in the areas that you have been focused on.